to you. Yes, we've brought our cameras to the county ground, Swindon, for the local derby with Bristol City. Well, it's been a topsy-turvy season for both clubs so far. Just 7 weeks ago, Swindon were on top of Division 3 after that impressive win at Eastville over Bristol Rovers. But since then, they've not won a match. In fact, they've lost 4 of the last 6 games here at home. As a result, they've dropped down into the lower half of the table. Well, City, they've got their problems, both financial off the pitch and footballing problems on it, because they've not won in the league now. They've lost 3 out of their last 4 games. And they now have adopted that all too familiar position for them in the bottom 6 of the table. Well, coming up in the next hour, highlights from 2 other top games from today's programme. But first, let's get a real flavour of this West Country derby by bringing in 2 players who've had so much to do in recent times with these clubs. Don Rogers, whose goals brought the League Cup to Swindon in '69, and Paul Cheesley, whose goals put City into the First Division in 1976. But Don, let's come to you first. Now, in your day and since, Swindon are forced to be reckoned with here at the county ground, but it doesn't seem to be the case just lately.
I think nowadays you find teams definitely come to defend more than attack, and we've sort of fallen down against large numbers in defence, basically, and we've lacked a little bit of confidence in ourselves, I think, which we hope we're right today.
What about the youngsters? Do you think it might be a bit of inexperience in the side as well?
Oh no, I wouldn't say that. No, I think the youngsters done very well for them.
Well, let's turn over to Paul now. Now, when you were leading the City attack, City, of course, having similar problems to Swindon. They played better away from home. Was that ever the case in your day?
No, not when I was playing with the City, but we seemed to have a consistent run at that particular time. That's why we had promotion. But at the moment, as you said, they're having a bad home run. I don't really know what it is. I think Bob Houghton's trying to put his finger on it for us all.
What about those problems off the pitch? Do you think that's coming through to the players?
I think a little bit must rub off on the players' minds, because it's got to come straight away from board level managership right down into the players. It must affect them in some sort of way.
Right, well, there we are. As the players come out behind me, both Don and Paul are going up into our commentary box. We'll be hearing their opinions throughout the match with our commentator Roger Malone.
Well, manager John Trollope makes 3 Swindon changes and has another forced on him at the last moment. He's dropped experienced players in David Peach, Kenny Stroud and Roy Greenwood, and gives a chance to younger men. That's Gary Williams at left back, Mike Graham at centre back, and 17-year-old Paul Rideout in attack. And that late blow for Swindon, Charlie Henry, their very strong right full-back, has gone down with flu. But that's a big chance for Kevin Badley, because he plays against his former Bristol City side. Well, Bristol City's manager Bob Houghton also looks for the spring and hope of youth to help City grow better. Out go to experienced men, Dave Rogers from defence and Chris Garland, who's sub from attack. And in come teenagers Alan Nichols and Rick Chandler. And today's referee for the West Country derby from Alton in Hampshire, Mr. John Martin. So it's Swindon playing left to right in the white shorts who get the West Country derby in motion. They've not won, as Graham was saying, in their last 7 league games. They go into a critical December. It'll be a month of destiny for Swindon. They've got 3 home games, and there's a City man on the deck already. Williams for City to Harford. Back to Williams. Hooked forward there nicely by Devine. But an infringement. In fact, City fans might have liked to see the advantage played there. Paul, that's the thing which I think a lot of spectators do get uptight about when advantage isn't played.
Yeah, it's difficult for the referee just to determine whether it's going to be advantage or not. So I think from a spur of the moment, you made the right decision there.
OK, Paul. Well, there's the Swindon wall. Now, Jimmy Mann, of course, is one of the dead ball experts of football, this man. 10 goals already for Bristol City this season, and several of them from this sort of situation. And the wall blocks it for Swindon. Oh, a dangerous ball back there by young Rideout. Goodness me, but Sandy Allen was equal to it. Oh, good effort there by Roy Carter, and here's a chance. Oh, my goodness me! What a super move, and a very close thing for City there. Howard Pritchard's header hitting the crossbar. man to Devine, who's tangled up with the toilet paper. Aitken. Angry Swindon crowd reaction to the decision not going their way. In goes Boyle, but Carter got it away from him. Pritchard plays him in. A good tackle by Stevens. Good work there by the young right fullback. My goodness me, he's doing well for Bristol City, is Paul Stevens, Paul Cheesley.
Yes, I think he's a pick of the defence so far. He's having a great game so far.
But it's another corner for Swindon. Well, Mr. Martin has spoken to Kevin Morris, the Swindon physiotherapist there, obviously indicating some crowd trouble. The referee's now having a word with a police officer about it. No prizes for guessing that being the City goalmouth, that some supporters from other than Bristol City are hurling things into the goalmouth. Well, here we go, the action's on again. Up goes the keeper, he's not been put off by the aggro, and City survive. Tainton trying to sort something out, but Swindon closing down so nicely, making it difficult for Bristol to find avenues to thread their passes through. Long ball in. Up goes Rowland. Nichols was with him well, and it's Tainton who completes the clearance. And Chandler's away and Devine's with him. And the left fullback's work there has resulted in a free kick situation right on the edge. But my goodness me, as City broke away there with the 9 Chandler and the 7 Devine, Paul, it suddenly looked as though this was their big moment.
Yeah, I thought Devine was going to take it over from Chandler there. Pretty unfortunate really, but we've got a free kick on the edge of the box now.
The left fullback did well for your side, Donald.
Tremendous. He was about the 3rd nearest man, and he ended up the nearest man in the end.
So there we go, another of these free kick situations in which Jimmy Mann of Bristol City, the number 8, often reaps a rich harvest. Let's see what's going to happen this time. Tainton with him, trying to get the wall organised, trying to get white shirts in there to create a gap when they move for the men to drill it through. I wonder if they'll try and fox Swindon by Mann running over it and Tainton hitting it, because he also packs a wallop. No, it goes sideways, the little chip in, but the wall still survives. This is Williams. And an ironic cheer from the home fans there as Gary Williams shows that although he's a promising young left fullback, his shooting ain't so good so far. Terry Ball congratulates him, and once again City survive. Whether the match will survive depends on the current battle being waged off the pitch between several policemen, numerous Alsatian dogs, and some rather angry visiting supporters. Although what they can be angry about defeats me, because for their side to be level at half-time represents a very good performance by City's defence. Well, quite clearly referee Martin took those players off without the first half being completed, and he took them off a couple of minutes before the end of it because he feared for the safety of the players, because the game's resumed playing the same way with a bounce-up. Well, that's a quite astonishing development, which very, very seldom happens, if ever. And it's still Bristol City now with the ball. Chandler turning. Good shot! Oh, good effort there by Ricky Chandler. Certainly City's best effort of this first half, which had, in fact, roughly an 18-minute hold-up in the middle of the first half. Well, now, that is an extraordinary situation. The first half is now over. The teams will not go off. They will turn straight round, and this is quite an extraordinary carry-on here at the county ground this afternoon. The referee wanted those players off whilst the police gained control of that visiting enclosure. There are police now all around it, up on the terraces, and there are reports of visiting supporters having ripped up the concrete terraces and using parts of it as missiles. No wonder Mr. Martin there took those players off. So, 45 minutes from now the game will end, and it's City now playing left to right in the second half of this quite extraordinary match here. Well, Don, a comment from the Swindon point of view on what we've been, the unsavoury events we've had so far in this match.
Well, I don't really know what to say. It's ridiculous. I mean, it's just a section of the crowd that has ruined it for everybody.
Paul, these people really are making a nonsense of football, aren't they, when they can have the game held up for 15 minutes, 18 minutes in the middle of the... And what about the way this derby's going, Donald, from Swindon's point of view as the game develops now?
Well, I think we'll be very unfortunate if we lose it, but the longer it goes without us scoring, the more it, you know... Oh.
Well, now here's a chance for young Gary Williams. Oh! Well, he did everything right. Super ball from Pritchard sent Williams in. The cross was good, but the shot was finally blocked, hit a City body, and once again City survived. But the left full-back there did well to set that ball up. Harford, Aitken, Chandler. Chandler did well to free Jimmy Mann there, and Devine wants it, gets it. Oh, good tackle by Williams, but was it a bit sharp? I'm afraid that's a booking. Full-back feeling hard done by, and I would have a certain amount of sympathy with him. He went in sharp, connected with the ball, also connected with the opponent, but Mr. Martin wants none of that, so it's a booking. Chandler turning. Again, that Gary Williams, the number 3, had read that nicely for Swindon. And that's Russell Lewis. No problem at all. Alan Nichols has moved up from City defence to lend his height in attack. Oh, that's a powerful header. Oh, a magnificent save there by Jimmy Allen from Harford. A super corner kick placed for Big Harford. He beat Swindon in the air there, and what a marvellous diving save there by Jimmy Allen. Well, Donald, as we move into the last 2 or 3 minutes of the match, what are your general reflections on it?
Well, I think the only thing to say is that Swindon have had most of the pressure, and they'll be very upset after the game and not winning, unless they can pinch a goal in the last 2 minutes.
Yeah, that's the worry, isn't it, from your point of view, that City could pinch one.
That's right, they could do easily.
OK, Paul, well, you've sat watching the team that you used to play for so effectively. What do you think of them, and what do you think of their performance this afternoon?
Their performance has been quite good defending, and put a bit of pressure on from time to time, but I think Swindon have had the edge on overall play, but nothing materialised.
Nichols. Pritchard. Offside. It was a match that neither side dared lose, and it looks as though neither side is going to lose, unless this is the one for Bristol City, as Harford comes away, turns, Jimmy Mann's going to hit it. Oh, my goodness me, what a cracker. Well, as you saw that ball break for Jimmy Mann, he was able to hit that from the left side of the box, just over the woodline. He's the hot shot who nearly won the game for City. Up goes Boyle, who's had an excellent match at the heart of City's defence. Mr. John Martin from Alton, Hampshire ends the match. I imagine he's rather pleased to get the match ended without the trouble which was threatening in the first half. So there it is, honours even as regards the scoreline. I think the result will please Bristol City much more than it will please Swindon. A match which Swindon had the better chances, but were unable to put them away. And finally it needed a brilliant save by the home goalkeeper to prevent Mick Harford snatching it for Bristol City. Well, from the Bristol City point of view, manager Bob Houghton, of course. Bob, for you, a point and a battle.
Yeah, satisfactory result, and a good performance. The youngsters did very well, especially in the back four. We had two 18-year-olds in the back four. I thought they were outstanding, really, when you consider that they haven't played that many games between them. And they've got some good front players, Swindon. I was impressed with their front players today. How Pritchard came from us, and right out in Rowlands, they were always dangerous and threatening to get behind. And it wasn't really a 0-0 game, though there was plenty of opportunities around both penalty areas, and I thought our back four did very well. Yes, I'm very pleased with it.
I know you were looking to get a better service to the front men from the back and from midfield. That would seem to be still a problem on today's showing.
I don't know that the service from the midfield was a problem today. We didn't play as well at the front today as we have done. That's Mickey Harford's poorest performance of the season, really, which is unfortunate because he's been doing very well, and when he's playing well, we can build up from him and get a lot from him. We didn't really look dangerous in the final third of the field, I thought. But I was pleased with the midfield players. I thought Trevor Tainton did exceptionally well. Emmanuel did a good job stopping Jimmy Mann from playing, and they kind of cancelled each other out. No, I didn't think we let ourselves down in the middle of the park. Just up around the box, didn't think we really threatened like we have been doing away from home recently.
Young Paul Stevens, outstanding at right full-back, I thought.
Yeah, I thought both the full-backs were probably our best players today. You know, Paul's been playing well all season. In fact, he plays better away from home, really, I think, than at home. In fact, both the full-backs are prepared to take more responsibility, get more of the ball, relax a little bit more on the ball. You know, as John says, the pressure to get 3 points at home is enormous. Now, he's very disappointed today because they've only got 1 point. And we've come away and got a 0-0 draw away from home, which normally we would be satisfied with, and yet we've only got 1 point out of it. I think that discrepancy is too great. I mean, neither side tried to play for a draw. We both tried to win today. We've both given everything, and yet we've both really got nothing out of it at the end because a point doesn't move us up the league. It knocks us down, really.